There's something you may have never talked about honestly, not even with yourself. The kinder you were, the more you got hurt. The more you forgave, the more you were ignored. The more you understood others, the less they understood you. Why is it that people with good intentions, clean hearts, and genuine kindness are loved less, appreciated less, and sometimes treated like the last option? Why do the people who bring peace to others break silently at night? Today, I want to talk to you about things you've carried in your heart for years but never found the right words for. If you still don't know why people assume you're strong, why your pain isn't taken seriously, why your kindness has turned into a routine, this video is for you. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sacrificed for someone and felt unseen right after? When was the last time you stayed quiet to save a relationship, but later, you were the one who broke? If these questions shook you, then know this. In this video, you're going to find yourself. Kindness without boundaries is more dangerous than unkindness. To begin, I need to tell you a bitter truth. People with good hearts often have no boundaries, not because they don't know how to set them, but because deep down, they believe boundaries mean being less loving. Here's a real example. Someone texts you. You're tired, overwhelmed, mentally drained. You don't have the energy to reply, but you respond anyway. Not because you're ready, but because you're afraid they might feel hurt. Psychology calls this self-abandonment, the act of leaving yourself behind to keep others. And here's the problem. When you abandon yourself, others eventually learn that you're not a priority. You give kindness to keep the connection alive. But that exact moment is when the relationship becomes unbalanced. You give, they take. And the cycle continues until you finally run empty. A good heart always finds excuses. People with good hearts create explanations for the wounds they receive. Neglect? Maybe they were just tired. Disrespect? Maybe they had a rough day. Inconsistency? Maybe they're dealing with family problems. But here's the psychological trap. When you constantly justify everyone else, you become the only person no one ever justifies. A friend once told me, I always say maybe they didn't mean it, but I can't remember a single time someone said about me, maybe she wasn't feeling okay. Deep feelings create deeper wounds. People with good hearts don't just forgive, and they don't just love, they feel. When they care about someone, they care deeply and genuinely. And when something hurts them, even a small word, their mind carries it for days. That's the thing about deep feelings. Even the smallest action can become a big wound. The role of being the strong one, the role you never asked for. You've always been the person everyone said, you're strong, you can handle it, you'll get through it. And slowly, everyone started believing you don't need anyone beside you. This is the painful mistake people make with kind hearts. When you play the strong role for too long, no one notices where you're actually breaking. A good heart realizes the truth late. You don't immediately recognize who doesn't deserve you, not because you're blind, but because your heart moves before your mind does. You feel first, you hope first, you give first, and only after all of that, you start to analyze. You see potential before you see patterns. You see who they could be before accepting who they really are. And that's why your realization comes late, not because you're foolish, but because your heart is honest. But when that moment finally arrives, when the truth becomes undeniable, you don't fight, you don't beg, you don't chase, you don't explain. You simply close the door, quietly, calmly, with a kind of strength people never expected from you. No drama, no revenge, no loud exit. Just silence, and a decision that has no return. Because once a good heart understands that someone was never worthy of its love, that door stays closed forever. Giving without receiving equals silent exhaustion. You're always the giver of energy, the giver of love, the giver of attention. But here's the truth. No person, not even the strongest, can keep giving forever and receive nothing in return. High capacity but limited tolerance. People with good hearts have a huge capacity. They always tell themselves, it's fine, it's not a big deal, I can handle it. But one day, you reach the final point. The place where one small incident makes every old wound rise to the surface all at once. The hidden suffering of good-hearted people. Good-hearted people leave quietly, and no one really understands why. Because they were always silent. Even when they were hurting, they stayed silent. They smiled through the pain. They acted strong. They pretended everything was fine. And that's exactly why, when they finally walk away, others say, "Was something wrong? Why didn't you say anything? I didn't know you felt this way." But here's the truth. People who stay silent usually broke long before they ever left. They just never showed it. They carry their wounds inside, layer after layer, until there is no space left for a new one. And when they finally walk away, it isn't out of pride, and it isn't out of anger. It's out of a deep, quiet exhaustion that no one ever noticed. Believing in people. Beautiful but dangerous. You always believe in people. You believe they can change, become better, grow, and that love, kindness, and patience can transform them. But the painful truth is this: not everyone wants to change. Some people are afraid of change. Some prefer the comfort of who they already are, and some only stay with you as long as they benefit from you. You look at people's potential, not their patterns. You see who they could become, not who they really are right now. And that's why you stay longer than you should, forgive more than you need to, and hope far beyond what is healthy. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Believing in people is beautiful, but without reality, it becomes dangerous. Because you choose with your heart, while many people choose with their advantage. You are not too much. You are not naive. You are not weak. You are kind, and kindness has always carried wounds. But now it's time to learn how to stay kind without sacrificing yourself. How to forgive without being taken advantage of. How to help without emptying your own heart. A good heart, when it has boundaries, is one of the most beautiful things in this world. If this video touched you or made you feel understood, I'd truly appreciate it if you give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need these words today. And don't forget to check out my previous videos. They're full of insights you might find helpful. I love you guys. Thank you for being here.